intrusion you need to check on first. Shall return to the spot where we found our wayward Elpis Toma. This place is pretty big. World uncindered. Fuck, it's just one big giant area. Yeah, just... Yes, look. Let's go talk to the observers.
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis. Enteleckies. Like me.
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions. In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. While it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
Uh-huh.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it. And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Antelekis.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait! A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Netion?
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it. However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%, the more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Yours is thin too. Like an Enteleki. Like me. So... are we the same? Entelekis.
If I'm just because I messed up, didn't do a proper job. Well, I've been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination.
That sounds more akin to the desperate flailings of a wild beast when facing imminent death.
Makes sense.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Enteleki make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You'd do well not to underestimate it. Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fellow. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Not another word. Sweetheart, you should learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Looks like Hermes again? Collected Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long until it's released into the world. Well, the Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. And there's a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. Some sea creature wanting to adjust it to enhance its ultimate wind and is capable of flight. Fellows want to assume any conceivable form, but transcend the limits of one's flesh. And the presence of others is considered inglorious in the extreme. If you non-seemly is running about the world that's shameful. I don't understand you make a habit of this. Nothing as such, just that when transformed, you can wield and wind and fly. Listen, what is your shape next to the lives of these creatures? There's a chance we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have a solution to myself. May I trouble you to move that carapace away from its fellows, somewhere out of sight? You know, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you keeping now? What mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermit committed an indiscretion. So have a good faith and run along. I trust you don't mind. You now. Good luck. You want me to go talk to him itself? Alright. I mean, he's technically flying right now. Well, he's floating, but yeah.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emetselk. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emmett Sulk. Please.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last. I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we? You were wondering why Emmett Selk joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see Aether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even, quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating Aether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emmett Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others. Where she walks, excitement is certain to follow. Her antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine, and together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you. I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
Let's return to Anagnoris for now. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? I'm hoping that will change. Tell me what is it you seek. I would be able to better accommodate you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Is something the matter? Deadly can, I'm afraid. It's done it again. At least one further your exertion that it's set upon nearby occupities, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry or somehow provoked? I just fed them myself. The occupities were keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Lycian displaying their innate viciousness. Therefore, beside it is outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. Though it may not be suited for release, I have no doubt that the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. In case there is no point in postponing the inevitable, Doros will revert them all once the paperwork is in order. Where is the scene of this incident? Just off the path to the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doros is still there, however. Hermes, wait. This is part of his work, then I would observe, and follow. Merchant Burns and Misnigo, Lycian was indeed responsible. The creature is nowhere to be seen. Doros must have taken it away. Makes his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. Just to make sure that Lycian did not escape. Thanks, let us meet at the 12 Wonders when you have finished. Go ahead, please follow the patios. And what's down this path over the bridge? Anyone with long blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him. Ah, I thought I heard a familiar voice. I didn't realize you two had decided to help me search for Doros. Thank you. In charge of the Lycian nails, I believe. Where are they now? On the fields and restraints, frenzied as they were, couldn't well return them to Kitsis. Once I've summoned a report, I'll see them reverted without delay. As he says, the beasts are indeed quite ferocious. You're one of the 14. What brings you here? Nothing you need concern yourself, as you were. You've heard the news that Lycian slaughtered occupities. As observer in charge, you are of the opinion that they are not fit to be released? I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. It is not where they are released. Volcanoes would threaten other species and upset the natural order. Could it be that the specimens observed are an outlier? Highly unlikely. We created a good many of them, all exhibited the same tendencies. Even when we used Kairos to begin with a fresh slate, their behavior was unchanged. Kairos? Memory reconfiguration system. The chief himself created it. Allows us to erase and alter memories that we may observe creations in different environmental conditions, while needing to remake them from scratch. Quite impressive and potentially dangerous depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions. Whilst Tarot may wish to have words with you. Rest assured I've kept all values within prescribed limits. To prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorized by the Chief Overseer. Do not misunderstand. Manipulating the subject's memories is an intrusive act. I deeply abhor. It is preferable to execution. Ignatius, let's not be so melodramatic. What was born of Aether simply being reduced to its original state. I know the distinction concern you, but we mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a more prosperous store. Creation cannot be properly studied, even with the aid of Kairos. We remake it. If a creation is deemed detrimental existence, we unmake it. It's all for the greater good, and none question the necessity of such routine process. I understand these things, I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat into the world. And insignificantly though their individual lives may be, the next creation, it is all like illnesses have. Or we seal their fates. We owe it to these beings to exhaust on all options. Sure that nothing has been overlooked. If you insist, let me provide you with a full report, and we may take it up from there. Would it be possible for us to attend a discussion that M itself may better carry out his duties? By all means. I show them to the meeting room. Created this discussion a while, during which time Mitchin, are you feeling unwell? It's not me who means it's you. I won't go to the meeting, I'll stay with Patios. How long do I need to impose? May I leave Mateo in your care again? That's fine. Guess we're going flower hunting then. Tuned the Thales already yet? Yeah, I did. Okay. here? Likes and dislikes them at the same time. They're anti-Lakis like me. They feel pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes though. For others, they're always white and bright. Wait, Hermes? It turns dark for Hermes. Huh, interesting. I see. Hermes has known the same. The feeling part of you is gone again and again, but no one notices. Please, won't you let into me your pain and sorrow? I want you to make the flower dark in front of Hermes. He's been in a dark place since before he created me. He needs to know that he isn't there alone, that others are too. Surely he'll do it. Let's go and fetch him.
Hermes!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
You've finished talking?
Yes, we've come to a decision. My thanks for keeping Meteon company. Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me.
Wait! I want to show you something first.
Elpis flowers?
Go on. You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I see Meteon has shared much with you. May we talk a moment? I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will. And when they depart, it is always beautiful. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought. Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished. We make an effort to spare them the pain, but they sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear, and it is not beautiful. Yet no one cares. No one. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration? Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I'm filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. I won't ask what you thought as you kneeled beside the Elpis, or if you only did it at Meteion's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you. To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort. Lest you misunderstand, I derive no pleasure from your pain. It's just the fact that you are still here in spite of your suffering gives me heart. The stars in the heavens, know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteion and her sisters. Aye, sisters. She has a great many of them, and they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life. As one might expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it. But I have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness. It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteion. Let us head back.
All right!
All too brief interlude, perhaps, but it's time I attend to my task. As I myself know is aware, we reached a verdict regarding the fate of Lycaonotis. 7 were created for observation, and all 7 must be unmade. Daros has followed the correct protocols, and as Chief Overseer I can find no fault in his judgment. Echoes would disrupt the natural order, ravaging and consuming other species until they themselves starve and perish. They cannot be released into the wild, and they cannot be allowed to remain here in Elpis. 10th petition Bureau of Archicad to have the concept preserved as a restricted purpose hazardous life form. His Lodis has pledged to support me in this endeavor. Yet whenever the Bureau decides, the existing Lycanus have served their purpose. Doros has already isolated creatures and is preparing to carry out the necessary measures. I will join him forthwith. It is my duty to witness the conclusion to the study. So then we must accompany you. Of course, let us be off. We return to the main island. Okay, Doros? What happened? So you heard what happened here? They caught me off guard. I had them bound with ethereal shackles, but they became frenzied even more than usual and broke free. I was able to stop 4. The other 3 escaped. I see them. 2 have taken to the air above the 12 wonders. The last is up ahead, lurking in the fields. You guys handle that one. The pair in the sky, you can leave to me. If this is how it is must end, then so be it. We'll render assistance to myself, when needed, though it is. You're to stay here with Doros. But Hermes, the Lycanus must be rewarded. I would spare you their pain and mine. This is my burden, not yours. If you are intent on helping, please follow my lead.
Now! Forgive me. Please, forgive me. May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld, may you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten. In concept endure. To reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire. Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy. But leave your suffering behind. Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high, fly free.
Join the convocation, Hermes. You do not belong here.
Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction? I do not know. Were I to take up the seat of Fandaniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death. I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts, I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind.
Hermes! Please don't be angry. It hurts so.
Forgive me. If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodaeus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others.
'Tis no trouble at all. Take as long as you require.
And you, my friend, I pray you find that which you seek.
I expect we have some few matters to discuss. Shall we return to the 12 Wonders for a time?
Aye.
Their elections have been taken care of. His resolve in life and Elpis continues as normal, or ends, as the case may be. Emotionally speaking, I understand Hermes' argument. No matter how well deserved arrest, there is a pang of sadness when a colleague leaves us. Yet never has a departure caused me such grief as Hermes appears to feel. What must it be like to experience such torment? Now, if there is anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Our youth has not yet outright refused his position in the convocation, merely postponed a decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Pragmatics. Allow me to remain your humble guide. Will you come along? Yeah, sure. Your ship travels unbroken. I say we explore other part of Elpis and see what new encounters there are to be had. If you would follow me, we will at first head back to the Anagnorisis. Follow the path northwards to Notenas. We find one of the nooks which facilitate travel between the islands. Receipt being granted, we only need use the device together once. Henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Shall we? Here we are, Notinus. This list will tell us to Zephyros, Day, a western island, looming large over us. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above.
I present to you Calamelios Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then. Let's begin by... Well, well. An Arrhaeus. How delightful.
And what, pray tell, is that?
Ah, that's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago. Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion. And here we are.
That was too close. Are you unharmed? Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Banar, that we should meet you here.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Vanar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
It has been a while, Hythlodaeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are? I say, have you perchance come from the future? I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you. Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether. I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting! I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself. As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos.
I've been found out. I'm from the future.
We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to. And quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Move along. My colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept in Great Crystal, and the quick-fingered Aureus which made of it. Can I ask you to join the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land. Alright. There it is. Concept crystal. As researcher returns, I'm afraid the Aureus no longer had a crystal, nor was able to find it. I followed in its wake. Suppose you've fared any better? Well, I found the crystal. Well done. I'm not gonna focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging my mind. Have you always had the knack for finding things? I've often been asked to. Oh, you too? Some of us seem distant to always be searching for ourselves and for others. Long ago, when I held the seat of Asm, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Especially the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running, should an old acquaintance or new test require my personal attention. That's what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested. My opinion sought concerning the habitat of that creation. Going to help locate that missing crystal. It was a minor distraction. John promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is the way one thing leads to another, wouldn't you agree? Alright, so she figured out I was from the future. Oh, the jig is up. Oh, rented this stolen property. If you would go ahead and do my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to the task. Alright, I'll go on ahead then. I'll wait for you guys there. You make yourself at home while I put on some tea. Alright.
A wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
Why don't you start from the beginning? Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vanar?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital in Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
True. I note also that Hydaelyn did not specify a point in time to which she must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle, and we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any, but we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hydaelyn is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman.
I'm sorry, Emmett Silk. I'm so sorry about that.
To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable? Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren. You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
Sure thing. I'm fine with that.
Emmett Selk, wait!
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
Dynamics is key to all this.
Ah yes, the energy distinct from Aether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of Dynamis. And you say Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes, I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, it is time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest.
So Venata's Heidelin. Alright. So Venata's Heidelin, and I'm somehow connected to the current Asm? Who is the current Asm, though? We never met the current Asm.
Have
That's...
faith. If Emmett Selk is the man Asm described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
The man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. So should we fall back on the tried true method of conversing with the locals? As we live here, surely they can tell us more of Hermes and Meteon, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. Well then. Next, we're going to be learning more about the past, and trying to figure out how to stop the calamity. So see you guys next time on Final Fantasy XIV.